Hi, my name is May Palapac, creator of Fully Housewifed, The Wiser Years. Welcome to my Homeschool podcast. In this podcast, my husband Jay and I will be talking about our lifestyle and our journey as a homeschooling family here in the Philippines. We will be talking about what we do and what we do not do, and how we raise and educate our 3 children who happen to be creatives and artists. We will be talking about our wins, our losses, and our mistakes. And we will also be talking to other seasoned homeschooling families to give you a better picture, so other homeschooling families can figure out and customize their homeschool journeys based on all of our experiences. Catch us weekly on Fully Housewifed, The Wiser Years Homeschool Podcast. Today we're going to answer a question that was posed to me by someone I was corresponding with on Facebook, because I blog a lot about homeschooling and I post a little about our journey also on our Facebook and Instagram pages. From time to time, we receive questions regarding homeschooling, and even though we don't really know all the answers, we try to help as much as we can. I'm not going to tell you the name of the person who asked. I'm just going to read her question because I think that it's a very interesting topic to talk about, especially for those whose children are creatives. Is it like for all things or most things your child likes to do you find ways to do it? But what if there is no opportunity available or limited?
Okay. What was your answer?
I gave her a very long answer, but I zeroed in first on the word limited, because for me, honestly, limited does not necessarily mean no opportunity. So what we do with limited opportunity is that we make the most out of it. We milk the most out of it. But just to clarify that not all open doors are opportunities. There may be some openings here and there, but it doesn't mean that it's the right opportunity for your child. As a parent, you must be able to discern which is beneficial and which is not for your child. Sometimes you really have to enter a period of waiting.
Mm-hmm. So, what kind of opportunities are we talking about?
She didn't really specify. The context is her child is a creative. So I was thinking more like perhaps it has something to do with art because she does bazaars. Maybe it has anything to do with singing and dancing.
Bazaars are a good experience.
Yes, bazaars are good experiences. But, like I said, not all opportunities are good opportunities. Because if we put it into context with our experience. For those who do not know, Jay and I used to run a pastry business, but it was so short-lived because we didn't do so well in it.
So, dun sa experience naman natin, of course, not all are good experiences, you said. Pero in all those experiences, we learned many things.
Yes, that's right.
So, learning experience talaga siya. The reality is, everything is in season. So, there will be a season of parang flooding yung opportunities.
No, that's right. Yeah.
There will be seasons of wala talaga, wala ka drought, parang ganun.
Yeah.
So, we should know because kami po ni May, we were musicians before. So, ang seasons namin, it's either feast or famine. So, meron tagyaman, meron din taghirap. Kasi wala pa tayong anak nun, di ba?
Yeah, wala pa.
So, pag tagyaman, we prepare for the next season. So, it's good if the tagyaman season is a long season.
Yeah.
So, marami kayong may enjoy nun. Pero, syempre, parang mga langgam, di ba? They prepare for the rainy season.
Yes,
so,
that's right. That's what I actually meant with the waiting. It's also a good opportunity for you to teach your children about the realities of life. That it's not always feast. Because that's one of the basic principles of homeschooling. That's why people homeschool, is because we want to prepare our children for real life. And real life doesn't always mean abundance in finances or abundance in opportunities. There's always abundance in God, but abundance in the things that we want materially or things that we want to do, it's not always that way. So it's a great way to prepare our children for the lean season. For example, your child is an artist and she sells her artworks in a bazaar. Meron din kasing season for bazaars. It's not like all year round. Diba? Usually it's Christmas season or the summer for the kids. I noticed that this particular summer, ang dami nagsuputan na bazaars for kids. And that's a good time. Yeah, it's a good opportunity. It's a good opportunity for your child to learn about business and what it's like to produce goods and be able to sell them. Marketing.
Naisip ko lang, no, kung tag-bazaar season, that's good. Pagka hindi pa bazaar season, that's also good for her to make produce.
Oh, yeah.
Kasi, most especially the young ones, they wait for some kind of motivation. Not all of them. But of course, somehow I teach our children, even in and out of season, we teach them that you have to draw out your art.
Oh, that's right.
So,
yeah.
Kasi hindi mo naman, halimbawa, when you grow up, unless you're a very successful artist, like yung pinakita mo sa akin, nagdo-doodle-doodle. So, people just go to it. But if you're starting out, of course, sometimes hindi pwede yung pag-motivated ka lang, then you draw.
Yes.
Or yung pag-motivated ka lang, you create something. You have to...
Yeah, that's applicable for any business actually. Or for pero kasi nga, ang sakit nga ng creatives. Yeah, ang sakit ng creatives and artists is kung kailan lang feel. Nasa mood.
Of course, pag feel nila, most of the time it comes out really nice.
Yeah.
They pour out their creativity during that time. But sometimes it's also a time that they're being perfectionist. So, paulit-ulit yung gawa nila because they cannot get... If you're someone like me.
Parang may naaalala ko.
Pagka andun ka sa moment na yon, paulit-ulit yung gawa mo kasi you envision something and it's not getting there. So, paulit-ulit.
Parang may kakilala kong gano'n, di ba?
So, yun yung learning moment. Parang teaching moment between you and your child.
I guess if it's just a hobby, it's okay to go with the mood. But if you're seeing your child to make what they create as their source of income, then you'll have to teach them that part in their character to find ways to motivate themselves to do the things that they don't feel like doing at the moment. Okay, so for example, doon na lang kami sa nalalaman namin because 2 of our kids are performing artists. There was a time when Pablo, our eldest, had some shows. And we thought, tuloy-tuloy na yan. In fact, he was supposed to go to an international show pa sana, but, puberty hit and he had to lose that opportunity. And he entered a season for training. So, waiting season is also training season. Sabi nga, preparation is confidence. Everything else is beyond your control. So, when it comes to performing arts, yes, the thing you do while you wait is you look for auditions. You put them in the best training companies. Like if your child is in theater, then put them in theater workshops like Repertory or Trumpets. Those are, di ba?
Yun yung parang creating opportunities. Kasi ang inisip ko sa mga workshop, there are also opportunities.
Yes, they learn and then they also perform. Kasi at the end of it, they have like a culminating activity. They perform. Pag dancing, you put them in dance schools. Like our kids are dancing, so they are with School of ARDP, which is open for enrollees. So, nagpo-promote na ako. They have the best training. They offer the best training, not just in ballet, but they offer a full curriculum in dance, especially for the more advanced ones. So, they have hip-hop, and they have contemporary, they have jazz, and they partner with other studios for master classes. So, School of ARDP, I will post the link in the description for you if you want to enroll your kids in dance to train if this is what they want to do. Yun nga, you prepare your child. You'll never know. You can never really orchestrate opportunities. But nowadays, the theater companies have been opening up a lot of auditions. So, take advantage of that. Put your child in a workshop, and when it's time for audition, they'll be prepared for it. They have a fighting chance to get the role. But one of the things that we also teach our children, which we also learned along the way, is that not everything is for you. That there will be times that there will be, not really literal rejection, but we can call it that. When a child auditions for something and they do not get accepted in the show, they would feel a bit of rejection. So you have to learn to prepare your child for that. That not all the things that they audition for or they try out for, they will get it. Have you heard of the group SB19, di ba? Yeah, I'm an 18 now. So, but even BTS, because,
Fangirling ang
yeah,
asawa
I'm
ko.
sorry, I'm a fangirl. They're talented boys, but it wasn't just talent that got them there. It was a lot of sacrifice and hard work. They went through a lot of rejections, di ba? So with Judah kasi, he was a good host. He wasn't really getting as much projects as his older brothers that time. So what we did was, we got him busy with making videos for him, right? We focused more on the creation of the videos, showcasing what he does well, which is hosting and cooking and baking, because he loves that. Kasi marketing is a totally different ball game. So if you want to succeed on the internet, then you'll have to spend time learning how to market yourself online. But if you're just looking for platform for your child's talent and skills, then the internet is there.
Yeah. Napakarami ng generous people in the internet, in YouTube,
Yeah.
teaching how they went from this to this, from how they grow their channels, or
Yeah.
how they so most of them even teach us how to market and use the algorithm,
Yes.
etc., etc.
Actually, it's really a useful skill nowadays. This is the times now. It's a great time to teach your children about online marketing because everything leads to the internet now.
Yes.
Like talking about the platform lang, some of our children's friends are on Spotify. They wrote a song because they're great songwriters, just not launching themselves yet in mainstream. So they decided to record their originals and put it out on Spotify. And I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, yun yung platform. Siguro ang thinking lang, paano kung let's say may na-envision yung parent tapos hindi naman nila alam kung paano gawin yung let's say yun nga, if they're musicians pero hindi naman sila marunong mag-record, wala silang gamit to produce something. So what do they do?
What do they do?
Well, number one on top of my mind is collab. Collab with someone who knows how to do this. Baka pwede kayo mag-ex-deal or something. There are two types kasi it's either you go to a professional which you have to pay for or you go to someone that parang katulad din ng anak nyo that has the same level of talent and will be able to do something out of collab, something like that. Pwede you can pull a group of kids pero medyo pag-aralan nyo kasi it might be borderline exploitation din. So you have to.
Yes, that's right.
You have to.
I was worried about that. It was in my head. I was like, ex-deal. Parang, we don't encourage that, honey.
Pero it's really, it's opening opportunities for them. Sila yung gagawa. You're just going to give them ideas. Maybe they don't know, katulad nga ng sinabi ng wife ko, maybe they don't know kung paano gawin or they don't have any ideas, nakatenga lang silang ganyan. Pero once they got the idea, parang magic word, baka yun yung para mag-jumpstart sa kanila to do something.
Jumping board nila. Sometimes they just need that like a slight nudge towards the idea. Pero kami, we didn't really have everything before. But we started investing knowing, because we were aware that our children are going to need it. So we kind of invested in some of the equipment. Yes.
Ito yung time na hindi tagyaman yung season na.
Oh yes.
Yun.
And since we knew that our kids were going to need it, we invested in some of the gears. Diba?
Yun yung forward thinking ng asawa ko. Kasi coming into pandemic yun So, naisip ko pero sinabi niya, go. Oh yes! May go signal. So, I bought it right away.
You'll never know when the opportunities... Our children were the busiest in voice acting gigs during the pandemic, diba? The gear was well used during the pandemic.
Yun nga, nakabili ka ng gear, meron kang pera to buy the gear. Paano mo papaandarin yun? Yun nga, it's all in the internet. Going back, I wanna go back kasi meron ako naalala. Yung zero opportunities or creating opportunities. Kasi I always talk to my children, ito yung norm ko, and I always remind them how great they are, how skillful they are, just that I'm reminding them of their God-given skills na don't forget to use it, practice it, sharpen it.
Yes.
And at the same time, I'm also careful not to compare them with other people.
Yes.
The same as they are. Kasi kahit gaano sila ka-skillful, pagka nabanggit mo na, anak, gayahin mo si ganito. Parang it might be a point of discouragement for them na bakit nga yun, how did, I'm also careful with that.
Yeah, but to balance it out, I also tell them, like, kunyari, a friend of theirs succeeded in something, then I talk to them in ways that would, more on the business side of things or more on the technical side of things. Look, this is the value of what your friend is doing. And if you learn that, this is how it will help you. For example, one of his friends is doing very well on Instagram. So I tell him, I'm not really comparing them because they're two different people with two different gifts.
You cannot compare them.
Two different gifts. Talented din talaga yung friend niya na yon. Super galing and very smart actually, and street smart, di ba? But what I was trying to tell my children is, he's learned a very valuable skill, which is online marketing. And he's able to carve a niche for himself. So because of that, it's opening doors for him. It's applicable for anything, not just performing arts. And one of the things we tell our kids is, yes, you are passionate about something, but be open to changes. If you have to, you have to be flexible because life is all about flexibility. You could be one thing now and be another next. And, Instagram marketing is a very, very useful skill to have in any form of business. So, kasi our kids kasi, even though mas evident talaga yung performing arts sa kanila, kasi yun kasi yung madaling mapansin because they're performing artists. But they also do other things. For example, our eldest son is as an animator and he likes doing graphics. In fact, he sees himself doing business in the near future. I was telling him na, you learn this and you can use that for your business. And the same way with the other two. Because we have a writer and we have another writer and a businessman with our youngest who is about to launch his business soon. So yun yung sinasabi ko doon.
At siguro, one thing I want to teach my kids constantly, yung value. Yes, you can open opportunities for them. Pag wala yung value, hindi nila nakikita yun, it's just going to be another activity for them.
Yes.
So, they have to see the value. Yung passion nila, maybe you can redirect in that. My point is, yeah, you have the talent, you're enjoying it, you're in your room, drawing, doing music, but unless you put yourself out there, no one will be able to see. And if you have a platform, then another opportunity might open up. It's really pointing people to Jesus.
Yes. So it's really about purpose. You can do these things. You can provide activities for them on your own. You can do these things without having to go out. But you have to balance it with, you cannot really orchestrate success.
Yes.
Kasi as parents, we tend to worry about our children's futures. Lalo pag homeschooling ka, kasi parang you feel that you're put in that position where you have to prove that what you have chosen is the right way to educate your children. So we're out to prove that we have chosen better. But we have to give our children room to have a vision for themselves. This is why it's very important talaga for them to have a relationship with God, to read their own Bibles, to seek God themselves. That's what we teach them. Kasi I will not underestimate talaga how God can speak and impress His will in their own hearts. Just to share with you what happened. Di ba yung nangyari nga kay Pablo recently? When he started performing professionally, it was in theater. Doon siya una nagkaroon ng opportunity. And then, nag-venture ng konti sa voice acting, although it was really Lucas who had more projects there. Kasi nagbukas na ngayon ng mga theaters So, nag-a-announce na ng mga auditions. And there was this one open auditions. It was an open call, which we were encouraging him to do. And most often than not, he would say yes when we tell him there's an audition. He'd go. But this time, he said no. I blogged about it, so you can read about it when your son decides for his future. And he told me that he sees himself more, performing with a dance company more than theater. For now, yun yung na-envision niya for himself. And I believe it's the Lord that impressed that in his heart. Kasi if you're an artist, actually hungry ka for everything eh. But for him to have that peace and that confidence to say, no mom, I don't think this is for me. So yun lang. Para sa akin, give them room to speak to the Lord and seek God themselves for what's next. Of course, as a parent, you still guide. Di ba? Hindi naman mawawala yun kasi ikaw pa rin ang magulang.
Yes. We can do many things as a parent. Ilalaban mo nga yung anak mo eh, di ba?
Yes.
Ginagawa mo nga lahat eh. So that they will have opportunities. And in the end, we wish them well. We wish that they will have a successful career or be successful. We can really create opportunities for them, but unless they see the value of that. Kasi pwede nilang ngayon, they can just take it because sinabi ni mommy and daddy, parang gano'n. So, kunin na namin. But one thing siguro is for them to see the real value in that. Ano ba yung kakahinat na nila? They will see ano ba yung magiging position nila in the society.
Yes.
Parang gano'n. Ano ba yung magiging purpose nila? Etc. At least yung value nung why they need to see the opportunities the way you see them as a parent. So
I think we can end with that. Yeah. Just to clarify, ang tanong lang talaga was about what if there's
no opportunity
or limited. So we answered that in the first few part of this podcast, but later on nagdakdakan na lang kami. So, we expounded more on the topic.
I hope we make sense to all the listeners.
Yeah.
To all the wiser people. Meron ng name yun.
Also, we encourage you to send us questions, to continue asking questions. Let us know if it's okay for us to mention your names when we answer them online. But of course, we'll answer them first personally when you throw the questions at us right away. Thank you guys for watching, and we hope that you'll catch us again next week. I will be interviewing a mom whose daughter has traveled extensively out of the opportunities that she was given. So opportunity is very well used in this podcast. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again next week.
See you.